Good evening. Make sure my clicker works here. All right. Wow, it is so great seeing your guys' faces and being able to have you guys actually in the sanctuary, in the hallway. We'll be talking a lot tonight, so I'm going to try to go a little bit quickly because there is a lot of information that I need to make sure that you guys know, especially if you're new, and especially if you're really new, like from last year, you have no clue what's going on because you weren't allowed in the building. So I'm Mr. Burke, the principal here. If you did not meet me before, I think I have at least seen everybody's faces at least once as you came in and toured stuff. This is our 73rd year educating kids here at St. Matthew. We are actually older than the city of Westland. So it's a great thing. St. Matthew started out as a little church on Middle Belt Road by Ford, where the Kroger used to be, now Planet Fitness. That's where our church was originally planted. And then we moved out here a couple years later and been here ever since. Some of these things are going to be hard to see. And obviously there we go, clicker is not working. But let's open a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you. We want to thank you for all the blessings you have given us. And we want to thank you for all these families that are here today and that we are able to start our 73rd year of educating students here at St. Matthew. A special thanks also to our members of our congregation because of their generosity and compassion towards Lutheran education. They try to keep the tuition fees down as low as possible, so we thank them for that. In your name we pray. Amen. So you'll see on there in the middle is, and again, I'll read it to you, is our mission statement, being faithful followers, reaching out, educating, and nurturing through the gospel. Last year, the teachers went through this mission statement last couple of years to figure out what we want our mission to be here at St. Matthew. And we figured that is all of that is what we do. We're reaching out to you guys as families. We're here for you. If you need anything from us, let us know. We're here to help. We are here, obviously, in educating. We're a school, so we have to educate. And then also nurturing through the gospel. We're here, again, to help your children grow academically, but also spiritually. And then lastly on there is our Raiders culture. I have been in Lutheran education as an educator, as a teacher or principal now for 19 years. But I have been in Lutheran education since kindergarten, started right here at St. Matthew with Mrs. Babler. And actually, Mrs. Hink was my 4th grade teacher, and her husband was my 1st grade teacher. But she was only like 19 back then, so still am. So, but our culture here is family. This is our family. You guys are part of our family, and if you're hurting, we're hurting. You're celebrating, we're celebrating. Again, we're here for you. If you have something going on in your life, let us know. We're here to pray for you, support you, and do what we can to serve you. And also, again, as a family, tell your families to join our family. Tell your friends to join our family. If I could have real quick, if you're brand new this year, can you just raise your hand if you're brand new this year? Let's give these people a round of applause. And if you've been here before, go and talk to one of those new people. Now here's the next question. Who was brand new last year? Raise your hand if you were brand new last year. Because you guys took a really good faith on us and be able to be in our school when you weren't allowed to be in our school. And we miss having parents in the school. Again, that's part of our culture is having parents involved. I've been part of school where we've kicked parents out every day, and it's not always a great, fun feeling. We want you guys in our building, be part of our thing. Also, as you walked in, you would see a banner in the background. We are fully accredited through the NLSA, which is the National Lutheran School Accreditation process. It was a long process. We've been part of it, doing this for a couple years, and then we had our meeting. We were supposed to have our visit last March of 2020, and then they got pushed to November of 2020, and then we had 3 days where people were here evaluating what we do, walking the hallways, talking to the teachers, really saying everything, what we do great and what can we work on. And they had 7 different things that they thought we were doing great. Our culture being one of them, our physical property being one of them, our parent volunteers, our sports program, and our leadership, and our teachers. And I've been on these committees many times. I have led teams. I've never seen a school have 7 outstanding strengths. Usually there's maybe 3 max. So it's a great feeling to feel that we're finally accredited, but it's not over. We have a plan. We have a 5-year plan that we're going to be working on, and I'll talk about some of that through today and throughout the year. This is really hard to see, but this is our theme for this year. It's in all things. Mr. Hink does a wonderful job of designing our themes for every year for the last, 6-7 years. And part of this theme this year is unique is because in all things is also the same theme that our National Youth Gathering is going to be going on. So we have a youth group here as part of our church. Miss Abby is one of our youth leaders, and Miss Julie as well. And we are going to, where are we going? Houston next summer. And we have probably about 10 kids of our church youth group that will be going down there. So we thought as a school, let's take that same theme in all things, because a lot of other Lutheran schools throughout the nation are using that as well this year. And then we asked Mr. Hink to put his spin on their logo. So their logo was that cross in the middle, and they just had the open spots on the four corners. And Mr. Hink went in there and kind of really, you have your house up here. Oh, this doesn't really work on this screen. In the upper right-hand corner, you have a house, so your God is in all things in your home. And below there is a bunch of sports activities. So God's in our athletics. On the left is singing and praising God. God is in all things in our church and our singing. And in the upper left there's a pencil, a microscope, a compass, a protractor, and a few other hidden things in there. So God is in all things. And one of the things we do is every year is every student gets a t-shirt with this theme on there. So we don't have them ready yet, but we will be getting them soon. Script program, all right? Preschool families, you can listen, but you're not mandated to do this. Script program is a way for us to raise money for the school and for the church. So pretty much what you do is you're buying gift cards. So let's say you want a $100 Meyer gift card. They sell it to the school for like $90, $95. You pay the $100, and we raised $5 from that. So for anybody that's in K-8 per family, we're requiring you to raise $100 of profit. So if you buy a $100 Meyer card every week, you'll make your $100 profit. Then after that, anything over that $100, you get 50% back to you to pay for your tuition bills, your registration bills, your lunch bills, which can add up real quick, latchkey, and so forth. So Miss Tammy has all the information on the script program. And if you're saying, you know what, I don't have time for this, you can just buy out of it. Again, preschool families, you're not required, but you can be part of this program. Money does add up real quickly. And if you have to buy food, who has to buy food? Okay? Who has to buy gas? All right? They have gift cards for food and gas. So right off the bat, you got everything covered. If you're an Amazon buyer, they have Amazon gift cards you can buy. And that's really a great thing because you can buy your Amazon gift card through your script and then use the smile.amazon, and then we get money on the other end too. So we're double dipping and raising some money for the church and the school. So again, if you have any questions on that, Ms. Tammy will be able to answer that. And we'll have a parent, one of our church members has said that every week they'll be down at the Booster Boulevard helping sell this. So if you have any other questions throughout the year, they can answer that as well. Our Booster Club, Booster Program, this is really the blood of our school. This is the driving force behind everything that we can do as a school, our fundraisers, our activities, and so forth. Our Booster president is Krista Stapleton. I think she left, had to run home. Tina Reamer, Tina, where are you? Hiding. She's our vice president. Jen Parker is hiding back there. She's our secretary. And then Estera Shirk, is Estera here? I didn't see her. She's our treasurer. And we'll have meetings. There's already a calendar out there, and there's one going to be on the website and so forth. Anybody's invited to the boosters. You don't have to pay to be part of the boosters. Come, have fun, bring your ideas. We just had a golf outing that the boosters put on. We raised over $12,000 for the church. So that was amazing. And literally that was all completed within about 2.5 months. So, and then last year, our play-a-thon money that the boosters put on, you guys raised tons of money for that too. And part of the money that we raised last year was going to our playground. We have bought 2 new basketball hoops to be installed still. We're in contacts with a few different people to redesign our playground. We have some sloping and engineers looking at it for water flow and whatnot. So as soon as we have that plan, the basketball hoops will be put in, and more activities will be added to the playground as well. If you ever looked at a playground equipment, they're pretty expensive. Easily $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, and then you need they're age dependents. So you need one for the little kids, one for the bigger kids, middle kids, and so forth. But our boosters does a great job. We have a movie nights, kids dances for the older kids, trunk or treat in October. Am I missing anything quickly, Tina? I know you don't want to talk, but look on the website, look at in your email and grade link. You will have a calendar on there. Our teachers. We couldn't be here if we didn't have teachers. Can I have all the teachers kind of stand up real quick that are in here? All right, so just so you guys can see who the teachers are. Again, I've been an educator for 19 years. I've been a principal. This is my 12th year as being a principal at 3 different schools. And so I've seen it all. We have some of the best teachers, if not the best teachers in the world. I just posted the other day on my Facebook, thanking God for all the Lutheran schools that we're starting this week and next week, but I felt bad for them because they're not as cool as we are. And they don't rock as we do. But I love Lutheran schools, but our teachers are amazing. We work hard together. We're a family within our own selves, in our own family here. We work to make your kids have a great time here. We work to make your kids learn, again, academically, spiritually, grow academically and spiritually. But we want them to go home and say, I love school, and I want to come back to school tomorrow. And not all days are going to be great. And sometimes, we're human, we're sinful, and sometimes we have issues with each other because we are families, and just like maybe with your brother or sister, you fight with them. And that's okay. But we want to come together if we have a disagreement with each other and try to work it out. And we ask you to follow what God says. And that is, if you have an issue with somebody, go directly to them and try to work it out. And if you can't, so if you have an issue with the teacher, go to that teacher. If you can't figure it out with that teacher, then get me involved, and I'll come and try to mediate and listen to both sides and help you work through it. And then if I can't help it, then we have Pastor Roshi, who has just been ordained, part of our family now. He can help and sit down. And then sometimes it's okay to say, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree. We're all here for the same thing. We're here for your kids. And sometimes how we get there might be a little bit different, but we are here for each other. Volunteers. All right? We need volunteers also to make this school run. And again, preschoolers, families, you can listen to this, but you're not mandated to do this. We are asking every preschool or every K through 8th grade family, and it's just 12 hours per family. Now, some people may say, well, I had a little bit more. There might be a little bit more in there, and you know who you are and why you have a couple more hours. But we need volunteers to help the booster. So if you went to our booster meeting the other day, we were there for an hour. That's an hour right there, helping out in the booster. We need help serving food and cleaning up the lunchroom each day. So you can easily get 2 hours right there. Mr. Steve came up with a great idea. He said, if we can get 30 families, and you say, I'll pick the first. So every month, the first day of the month, if that's my day to come in for the lunch. And if the first was on a weekend, I'm off that month. And then another family has the second, another family has a third. And then that day, that's one day, maybe one day a month, with a couple days off, or months here off. So right there, 30 families could easily get their hours in that way. End of the year, we have a party, we can get some hours there. And throughout the year, we'll have other different activities. Some teachers need help in the classroom, so if you volunteer in the classroom, that counts as well. And it's on a trust basis. Let Miss Tammy know when you volunteer and how many hours, and she'll keep track of it. In GradeLink, there's a button, I don't remember where it is, but you can say, hey, I volunteered for 12 hours, and put it on there. Mr. Steve already has his 800 hours involved in here. But if you don't know who Mr. Steve, why don't you stand up real quick? Let's give Mr. Steve a round of applause. Although I love his haircut, he is not the assistant principal, as he puts it, he's the assistant to the principal. Mr. Steve is here a lot and does a lot of times. Even before I came on board, Mr. Steve volunteered many hours here. The classrooms that have been painted is because of him and some of the people he's got to volunteer. The hallways, we had a group of parents painting the hallways. So I am thankful for Mr. Steve to be able to make sure I can do my job as a principal, so I don't have to always have to paint hallways and bathrooms and so forth. And Mrs. Sarah this summer has been spending many hours. Again, she's not here, but if you know Mrs. Sarah, thank her for her hours of, she was here the other night to about 10 p.m. on Monday night, painting and like fine-tuning paint details and stuff. We're just slapping paint on there, and she's going through with the detail. But again, we need volunteer hours, and we need volunteers to make our church and school run. Communication. This to me is one of the biggest things as a principal for me, is to communicate to you guys as parents and communicate as often as much as possible. During the summer, I usually take a little bit of break, but once school starts up, you should expect pretty much a Friday video every week from me. I do videos instead of writing an email and so forth, but sometimes I'll do emails too. But I usually do a Friday video kind of updating you what's going on, where we're at, and usually it's about a minute or 2 minutes long. Sometimes I can talk a little bit longer if there's a lot of things going on. So that would be one main thing. If you have YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get the notifications on there. We'll also email them out to you, and we'll also post it on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, we have a St. Matthew Lutheran Church and School page, and then under that we have a St. Matthew Raiders group. And that St. Matthew Raiders group is all school-related stuff. So we post a lot of information and share information on that Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, you still will get it through the emails. You'll still get through YouTube on that and so forth, and anything else. And the teachers do the same thing. They'll post emails and newsletters as well.
That's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, nothing else left to do. Is it?
This is my favorite video of all time. I did it so I could take a drink of water, but also just so the mind thought of how simple solutions can be and how hard we make it. And that's where, again, going back to volunteers, we need your guys' help, because sometimes we try to make things a lot more difficult than it can be. And you guys have great ideas, and we want to hear them. We want to act on them, and so forth. I had a parent come to me and ask, he wants to start like a Boy Scout group, but a Christian Boy Scout group. Sweet, let's do it. And let's try to do it. He wants to do some gaming stuff. Sweet, let's do it. We try to say yes as much as possible as we can, as long as we can fit it in our schedule and so forth, and as long as it's kosher for the church. But again, that's one of my favorite videos of all time. There's another one we'll see in a little bit. All right, our favorite topic. Masks and mandates and everything nice. I printed off, I just got this email today, so I printed it off so I can make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. As some of you may know, just the other day, Oakland County has mandated masks for all schools, and that includes non-public schools, which we're a non-public school. There was recently a court case that I've been following that a Catholic in Michigan, Catholic church school, and some parents sued the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services over the mask mandate. they were ruled that they have no standing, the church, the school, and parents. That so if the health department mandates masks as a non-public school, we have to follow those mandates. As of right now, at least when I printed this email off, there is no mandate for Wayne County. There are recommendations, but there are no mandates. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow that. It's up to you as parents. If you want your child to wear a mask, we're not going to stop you. If you don't want your child to wear a mask, we're not going to stop you. We're not going to force vaccinations on you or anything like that. Now, if a Wayne County Health Department comes out and then decides that there is a mask mandate, then we'll have to follow it. It'll probably look much like what we did last year. We are going to keep our cleaning procedures that we did throughout the year with our foggers and our desk cleaning. And make it a little bit easier because the kids can help us out this year, where last year the kids couldn't touch even a wipe to clean up. So we're going to keep the place clean. There are screenings like we had last year. We'd ask you guys to screen your kids. Still do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with screening your kids. If your kid is sick, keep them home. Don't bring them home. Bring them here. But it's not like that's not mandated. There is, if I can find it, they have 8 scenarios of what happens for quarantining. I need to find the page it was on. So, scenario 1, a student, and this is, let's see, what is this one? Student or staff person within the school is a confirmed COVID-19 positive or symptomatic pending test results. So if a student or member within the school is confirmed to have COVID, they need to go home, which is kind of simple. 10 days since symptoms first appeared and at least 24 hours with no fever. So that's pretty much like your flu, if you have the flu. 10 days may be a little bit longer than if you have the flu. Scenario 2, if they have symptoms and they're pending the COVID test. Again, if you think your kid might have COVID or the flu, keep them home. They must, until they have a negative test, or symptoms-free for 24 hours. Scenario 3, close contact. So a student or staff member within the school is identified as a close contact requiring quarantine. So the student or staff member is quarantined for that close contact. So if they're individually a close contact, they'll have to go home. Scenario 4, household member of a student. All right, so these ones are if a person in your house has been confirmed COVID positive or has symptoms. If a household member of a student or staff member within the school has been confirmed, that student or staff member who lives in the same house as a COVID positive person is excluded. So that kind of goes to that, your close contact, go home. Scenario 5, household member of a student staff member within the school is both symptomatic and is a close contact. So if you have symptoms and you're a close contact, stay home. Scenario 6, household member of a student staff member within the school is a close contact to a known positive COVID-19. So your household member of a student staff member within the school is a close contact. So you are, how did they put this? You're a close contact as a parent because somebody at your work has COVID. Your kid does not have to go home. They can stay in school. All right? And then scenario, and you can find this online too, and I can print these out for you. Scenario 7, staff member has a rapid test, and if that is positive, you go home until you have the real test, the long test to see if you're positive or not. Student and staff member has symptoms or does not have symptoms and has a rapid antigen test that is negative. So if you have symptoms of COVID or you do not have COVID symptoms, and you took a rapid test and it was negative, you are good. If the PCR test is negative, you can return to school. If the PCR test, and that's a long one, is positive, then you need to stay home because you have COVID. So pretty much, if you have COVID, stay home. So, and again, this can change at any moment and any time. I will keep you updated as best as I can. The luckily part is, in Wayne County, we already had a lot of schools started today. So a lot of our non-public schools actually started today. So I don't think they'll change much since. We'll see. Talk to your representatives about it and change it. All right. Handbook, good dress code. If you didn't get a handbook or you need a new handbook, you can see Miss Tammy. She has copies of this. This is kind of like our rules and regulations. Look it over, read it, and probably read it again, and then after you fall asleep twice, read it again after you wake up. There are a lot of words in here. But the biggest thing is the dress code and be able to follow the dress code. Last year, because of everything being crazy, we were very lenient on what our dress code says. We allowed a lot more than what we usually do. So on page 24 in the handbook is where the dress code starts. Some of the things that are not allowed are your sweats or athletic pants, any tight-fitting pants. So like girls like those leggings, jeggings. I have 2 boys, so I don't get the whole thing. But if they're tight-fitting, they're not allowed. They need to be like loose. You can get them loose. Yoga pants and so forth. Overalls are not allowed. Pajama style pants. So pajama pants, unless it's pajama day, pajama pants are not allowed. Skirts, skirts, and dresses. The length of the skirt, and dress must extend clearly below fingertips. So they have to be not too short. Shorts are to be of denim dress or walking style and must be hemmed. The length of the shorts must be extended clearly below fingertips within 4 inches of the knee or longer. Again, tight shorts and athletic shorts are not allowed. Shoes are to be dress or athletic shoes in good condition with non-marking soles. It must be fully enclosed. A separate pair of athletic shoes is recommended for use in gym. Gym shoes, so you have to have a pair of gym shoes for gym class. Hair should be neat and clean, no extreme styles. This would be included but not limited to dyed, shaved, or sculpted hair designs. Unless you're like me, you can't grow hair anymore. And then hair should not to cover the eyes. And boys' hair should really not be hanging over the top of the collar or into the eyes. And then no head coverings of any kind are allowed. And then boys, no facial hair or earrings are permitted, and so forth. Julie, was there anything else that we should specifically talk about? If you have any question, again, ask Miss Tammy or ask your teacher. Again, dress codes are always the tough things to go about because we don't want to spend all day on dress code when we have to educate your kids. So just read that over. If they're in violation, the first instance in the school you'll get a reminder saying, hey, that shirt isn't dress code appropriate, don't wear it again, and so forth. All right, keep you going here. NWEA. This is our standardized testing, or what we would call standardized testing. It's really a growth test. And what it is we do is we test in the fall and the spring. Now this year we're doing a little bit different. If you're a new student, we're going to do a short mini test in September. And then everybody will do a test in October. And then if your child is struggling, we'll do a test in the winter. And then everybody will do a test in the spring. And what this does will give us a kind of in the fall, it will tell us where your child is. Again, it's a one test, so it's just part of our information. And a part of it will tell us in the spring your child should be at this level. And so then in the springtime when we test it, we compare, did your child meet their growth? Did they meet their high growth, low growth, high academic, low academic? So you could have a student that is struggling in the fall, and they could still be struggling in the spring, but they grew 30 points. Or you could have a student that did really well in the fall, and they did really well in the spring, but they only grew 2 points. So we want to look at all that data, and part of that data is to help us as teachers to look at our curriculum. So when every year we're making curriculum changes, or we're looking at our curriculum if we need to decide to change something, we have data to use to help us make those decisions. And that's part of our accreditation, and one of the things that is on our action plan is to use the NWA scores to make curriculum decisions. Share Time. Share Time is a program we use with Livonia and Oxford and Avondale. And Oxford is a little bit different, we'll talk about it in a second. Pretty much what that means is Livonia will give us a computer teacher, an art teacher, a PE teacher. Avondale will give us a music teacher, and then Oxford does our PASS program. And then we don't have to pay for them, and they get to have our kids, so it's a win-win, because they're not in the public schools, they're in our school, and they get public school money, but they're our kids. So I just need to let you guys know that we do that. If you have any questions, you can come and ask me later. Choir is part of our kind of a curriculum here. Right now, we're looking for a music teacher, so if you have a music degree, we would love to talk to you. Again, we work through Avondale. Our music teacher last year, her husband got a new job in Grand Rapids area, so she thought she should go with him. I didn't agree to that, but whatever. But part of our choir and music is we'll sing in church on Sundays. And I know that we don't have to be a member here. You can have your own church, but you're invited when your kid is singing to come to church that Sunday and be part of our service. And then we have a Sunday school program in between our two services and an adult Bible study. We have donuts and coffee too in the back and so forth. I like the little kid holding up his hands. Choir directors be like to hold that note. So if you're a choir person, you might get a kick out of it. Oxford School Department. This is our other part of our share time. We work with Oxford in a great way, because what they do is they provide for us 2 Chromebook carts that we can use all day long, and actually they allowed us to give it to you guys when we went into lockdown as part of that. And then they also pay for our NWEA testing, which is a couple $1,000s. So it's a great program to be part of. This year, in the past, parents, if you're used to this, we had this Edmentum thing, and they had to log in. They still have to log in and do stuff, but we're working with this Moby Max. And actually, the teachers are getting trained on it tomorrow. And Ms. Abby, who's our liaison with Oxford, had a meeting all day today with them. And actually, Ms. Abby has a lot of pull with Oxford, because she gets to tell them what we like and what we don't like, and then they do that for their whole department. But we call it the PASS program. So if your kids come home talking about PASS or Moby Max, this is what it is. Every week they'll work on it. And what they do is they take that NWA score and they put it into this Moby Max to work on math and reading at their level. So if they score low on their math score on NWA, this Moby Max will take them from that spot and help move them up. Where in math class, they're kind of learning all the basics and they're keep on moving. So they'll kind of have math and reading, which are the 2 most important subjects besides religion here, to get there. So just so you know. But Miss Abby did want me to tell you that and I'll email this out. She just texted me this tonight, that tinyurl.com/AUP Oxford. Every parent will need to fill one of those out for their kids. It's the permission forms. You did it before on paper. They're making us all do it again, and it's a Google form. But I'll email that out so you guys will have it, just so you know when it's coming.
again, sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless, and I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there.
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing.
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like, there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Come on. If you would just.
Don't.
Try to see things my way. Do I have to keep on looking?
All right, so that's just another one of my favorite videos of all time. And just husbands, you could probably feel that guy right there, and be able to talk and be about billing and so forth. Athletics. We do have a great athletic program here at St. Matthew, and has had great athletics for many years. Some of the best athletes that go to Lutheran High and other high schools come from our school. Not to gloat too much, but most of our athletic programs are for 5th grade through 8th grade. Sometimes we'll dip down to 4th grade or 3rd grade if we need numbers. As of right now, it looks like we'll have a varsity volleyball and soccer. And so, no JV, maybe JV, maybe a JV volleyball. We might pull some of the kids up to make that varsity team. Miss Julia Moody is our athletic director, and she does a wonderful, wonderful job. Pre-COVID, we were going to try to get our little league, little kids soccer in the spring up again. We'll try to do that again this year. So that's a great opportunity for parents to help coach the little kids soccer. But we'll let you know on that. In the fall, we have volleyball and soccer, possibly cross country if any runners want to run. In the winter, we have boys basketball and girls cheerleading. And then also in the winter after that is girls basketball. Then we will have possibly boys volleyball, possibly a dodgeball.
We should. The dodgeball tournament is planned.
Okay, possibly dodgeball, possibly a softball team, and then a track team. Again, we have some great coaches out there. If you've been a coach for any of our sports, please stand up. I see Brandon back there, Mr. Trigg. Miss Moody has coached, Mr. Weil has coached, but Mr. Trigg does do a lot of our sports and does a great job. This past year, we had 2 of our athletes go to state for track and do a great job, great job. And this year, I'm looking forward to our boys varsity basketball team. We might have a good chance, we'll see. So that's our athletics. If you have any questions, see Miss Julie. My clicker is not, there we go. All right, parking lot. I know this is hard to see. This is in your handbook. So kind of, it's basically what we did at the end of the year last year. So we have the drop off in front of the school, in front of the flags. We might get some painted lines even this year. We'll see. But we'll drop off and pick up will be there. If you want to walk your kid in or need to walk your kid in, you're going to park along the side going towards the playground area. You'll see there's 2 reserve spots. Don't park there. Those are Jen's and Tina's. They won them at the auction. So next year, come to our golf outing, and you could possibly win them at the auction. But anywhere in there, you can park and walk your kid into the building this year. Last year you had to stop right there at the door. This year you can walk them in. Doors will open at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then school starts at 8:10. All right. At the end of the day, all the kids will be out by between 3:10 and 3:15. So again, you can come about 3 o'clock. We'll unlock the door so you can come and wait. At the end, we have a couple church pews. We added another church pew since we have so many new families. So we have plenty of seating for everybody to wait. On Fridays, we do the Popcorn Fridays. The boosters will be passing the popcorn out from the Booster Boulevard there, and we'll have a couple extra bags if you want to buy any. We don't want you to park in this parking lot where you probably parked tonight and walk kids in. Because cars are driving, we don't want anybody to get hit. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. Parking lot and dress codes are my two unfavorite thing as principal to deal with. Latchkey. This is probably a little change for some of you who have been here for a while. If you're going to use our before school or after school, so before 8 o'clock or after the 3:15 or 3:20, we want you to go to the latchkey door and you can knock and they'll let you in. The latchkey will be on the back side here. It's the second to last, or actually third to last door, because there is a storage door in between. So you have, coming from this side, you have preschool, storage, latchkey, kindergarten, second, third, fourth. And it says latchkey on it, the sign's on there on the bout side. Miss Jamie asked me to let you guys know that. And then Miss Jamie, where did Miss Jamie go? Is she still here? If you have any questions about latchkey, you can ask Miss Jamie. From above and beyond, this is our capital campaign this year. We're starting it's a 3-year capital campaign, and this is our title, From Above It to Beyond. And what it's going to do is raise some money for the church, and what the church is going to do with it, we're going to work on ministry, outreach. 5% of anything raised is going to out to the community for mission work. We are putting a brand new roof on the entire building, which has been a 30 years need. So that's supposed to start on Friday, is they're putting start putting the roof on. So first 2 weeks of school, you might want to watch out for watch your emails in case we have to change any of the parking up. And then we're going to redo the entire parking lot in the south side and the east side, and then part of the west and north side. And then the last part of it is going to reduce our mortgage. As school families, you pay tuition, but we are asking if you can find it in your heart to pledge any money towards our capital campaign for a 3-year pledge. It doesn't have to be much. Let me know if that's something that you want to talk about. I can get you in place for that. We do have an auction in October that the church and school puts on. There's a lot of school baskets that the kids put together, and your teacher will talk to you about that. Part of that will have different fun activities for the Above and to Beyond pledge too. All right? And I need a new clicker. LSEM, Lutheran Special Education Ministry. We partner with LSEM. Last year and the year before that, we had a resource teacher here 1 half day a week, and they worked with the kids. This year we got a grant to be able to provide 2 half days a week. So we'll have 2 half days. So either some of your kids might go once a week still, some might go twice a week if they need a little extra help. You'll find if your child needs that little extra help, your teacher and our resource teacher will reach out to you to talk to you about that. GradeLink, this is where you go to see how much money you owe, how much food your kid is eating, and then all your grades and so forth. Miss Tammy should have gave you a sheet. If she didn't, if you need a new sheet to log in, let her know. She'll print it out on there. So this is kind of your communication of all your grades, all your billing, and so forth. If you ever have any questions on that, please let us know. We are human. We do make mistakes. So if you see a bill, like, I thought I paid that, let us know, and we can correct it as needed. So if you have any questions on GradeLink, let me know on that. And then offering. We do chapel every single week, and our teachers have picked 4 worthy causes that the money for our offerings will go towards this year. So if your kid brings money, we put them in the offering plate, and then we send it off to the different organizations that we have decided to pick on. Ms. Tammy does have some envelopes too for offerings, so if you think your kid needs an envelope so they don't lose the offering money, they can do that as well. All right, I talked way too much. I think 46 minutes, not bad. Is there any questions for the general public? Yes, Christy? Yes, thank you very much. Yes, parents, as right now, parents can come to chapel again. We're not doing chapel families in our classroom, but we're not going to spread them out like we did last year. So we will have room for parents, and parents are allowed to come. So chapel is Wednesday mornings at 8:30 to about 9:15. Except for the first day of school, it's at the end of the day. It's about 11 o'clock. Any other questions? If you don't have any questions, you guys are free to go. I don't want to waste.
You told us chapel is 11:30.
11:30, yes. Thank you. I was thinking we're getting out at 11:30. At 11:30, get out at noon. First day of school is a half a day. Oh, that reminds me. We did have to make one. I'll get to you. We had to make one quick change on our school calendar. March 30th or 31st was originally going to be our play-a-thon day. We had to move that to March 30th. And then March 31st is a half a day. And the reason for that is our kids are so smart that they won the spelling bee a couple years ago, and we have to host, the teachers and us, we have to host the spelling bee at Lutheran High. So all the teachers have to leave at half a day. So that's going to be a half a day on the 31st, and then we move the play-a-thon to the 30th. And just so you know, the 1st is no school. The 1st through the 8th is no school for spring break. Yes.
Normally my kids do matches, so on the first day of school, will it be like the normal, everybody picks up at noon?
Yep. Everybody will pick up at noon. Either you can walk in or you can drive up. And then we'll have probably Mr. Steve, myself, and Mrs. Hinkin outside walking, and Mrs. Smith will be in there, and we'll use our walkie-talkies. Again, that worked pretty well last year. Once we figured everything out, it worked. We had it down, got everybody in their cars within 5 minutes. So, yeah, again, you're free to go unless you have any questions. Anybody else have any other questions? Have a wonderful night. Thank you guys for being so awesome, too. Have a great night.